At Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
Check. Walk 54. I'm going to run you over.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. That's complete to Whitaker. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Going on the ground with Eckler. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Stafford, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
27 yards there, a first down. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you guys didn't come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
54. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Antonio Brown. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point good by Prater. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
In your face.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shamar Stephen, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
54, Mike, 54. Hey, Delta. Watch 54, watch 54. And come on out here, come get some. Come get some. Come on here, come get some.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go, D.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Stafford here coming off his pick 6. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Well, Antonio Brown can wreak havoc in so many ways. Here he's able to cause a PI penalty.
He runs the defensive backs with such speed and power. I think it creates panic on their end, and a lot of times they just reach out and grab him, and that's the result there, a pass interference call.
Now Eckler, and he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford looking downfield for, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Cook following the penalty. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Second and 12 at the Lions' 44-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. First down, here's the run with Cook. Oh, what a move. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are back within a single score.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Stafford now to throw. This complete to Jones. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now Stafford. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
At the 44-yard line.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12. Stafford. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the red zone now, Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. That'll bring up second down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. Being chased out left. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
This will be play number 7 on the drive, 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
They'll come out in the pistol. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
They'll run with Bawden, and that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. So they held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit. Try to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock.
Stephon Diggs, 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the second half.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Jahan, ready? Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball.
Cousins now from the 50. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Cousins to throw it. And that's caught by Smith. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. To throw, Cousins. And he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down. Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Cousins escaping the pressure right. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Let's go, Heavy. 59!
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
They'll run here with Eckler. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Set. Get it, 20. 40 got. 40 got. 55.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play. Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On 2nd and inches, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one a first down pickup of 8.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. It's complete to Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Stafford now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Whitaker. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 38-yard line.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Mike 54.
Hey, Zoo. Trail right, 22.
Shoot.
Here we go. What happened?
Now it's Stafford. That's complete to Whitaker. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Too little, Cupcake.
Hey, 5-0.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's going to float this over the middle deep. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for the Lions. 41 yards. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Back now at Ford Field. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Running on first down, Eckler. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Stafford. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. Prater for the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now. But that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch tight end. 4 down. Check.
Now a run with Cook. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
That's trash.
Yellow.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. I'm coming after you.
Now Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And a pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. A 4th and very long coming up. You're out of field goal range. I don't know that you can go for this.
Well, I know that you want to, right? You know that they want to say, hey, let's go for this. We've got the perfect play drawn up. Let's do it. But I wouldn't go for it either. I agree with you totally. You're only down 1 score. Punt it. Let your defense pick you up.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Whitaker. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Watch it, you. Begin.
Libra.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. On the ground, it's Eckler. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Lady.
They going to need some therapy after this.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Stafford. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. From the 50, it's Stafford. He'll get this to Eckler. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He completes it to Jones. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Lions, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.